It's wild how short people's memories are. Under Obama administration, 56 people died under ICE custody. 56! That's not a conspiracy, that's public record. According to the ACLU, under Obama, under ICE, failures of medical care, ICE malpractice. The list is long as to why and how these occurred. And somehow, no maps. Obama deported over 3 million people. Let's not forget that, people. I say that in so many of my videos. Millions! And a lot of them were fast removals. No real hearing, no judge, no full due process. And here's the part liberals don't like to bring up. Tom Homan? Yeah, that Tom Homan? He was running enforcement under Obama. And during that time, he was given an award back in 2015 for his work with ICE. Even Democratic states allowed ICE to do their job under Obama. Here's my thing. If you're going to be mad, be consistently mad. Liberals were not mad when ICE was doing their job. All 8 years with Obama, they weren't mad in the streets. Now, I'm not saying that don't matter. They always do. I'm saying the outrage only appears when it's politically convenient, aka selective outrage.
Today in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a group of activists led by Don Lemon stormed a Baptist church by the name of Cities Church during their worship time. They were screaming and chanting, disrupting the singing and the preaching, because they suspected an ICE officer may attend the church. This is a violation of what is known as the FACE Act, and not only do we condemn this act, but tonight I want to demand that the Department of Justice investigate what took place in Minneapolis, apprehend those who broke the law, and arrest them accordingly. We must...
Don Lemon tried lecturing a pastor on the First Amendment after a mob of far leftists stormed a church in Minneapolis. This is unacceptable. You can demonstrate, do whatever thing you want, but not into religious places. This is unacceptable. A lot of people are calling that these people should be held accountable. They are now under investigations based on what I saw Assistant DOJ putting out on X. They should teach these people a lesson. I don't know why storm a church. Because you suspected that an ICE agent might be attending this church. Are you supposed to do that? Even if they are there, are you supposed to? It therefore means these people will even be attacking some of these agents if they know their real faces in their homes. This is sickening. It is high time these people should be held accountable.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship.
Yeah.
We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Like the First Amendment means that people have a right to walk into other people or other businesses' personal property in the middle of their property without permission. That's not how oh Lord. That's not how the First Amendment works. Don Lemon looked like an idiot during this interview. Well, these people, they have their First Amendment rights, and their First Amendment rights is to come all up in the middle of your church and ruin your church service. That's our First Amendment right. That's what he sounds like. Stupid. The First Amendment limits the government. It protects you from government censorship or punishment for speech. Again, it does not mean you get to go in the middle of somebody's living room and start protesting. These individuals should be charged with crimes, misdemeanors at a minimum, trespassing, disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace. I know the federal government is looking for violations of the FACE Act that took place during this. But the fact that they barged into a church and then Don Lemon wants to come and talk about First Amendment rights, again, as if it's your right to barge into somebody else's private property, thing in the middle of their private property. Are we serious? These people are slow. Again, these are Democrats for us. I've said it before, these people will run our country into the ground if we let them. They don't know what they're talking about 85 to 90% of the time. They lead with emotions, and then they find things to fit those emotions, whether those things are factual, true, real, or not. They don't.
MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because it's
Yes, I believe you've seen. I have a couple of clips. I'm going to show you what Don Lemon did. At some point, I don't understand why this guy thought this was a good idea. When you take a look at the reply Megyn Kelly gave out, he clearly has no idea that there are many time, place, and manner, not content-based restriction on free speech that have been upheld by school tools. One such restrictions involve places of worship where you may not just saunter in and demonstrate. These people are about to F around find out. This is what Megyn Kelly said. According to Don Lemon, he's not affiliated to these activists.
fake right-wing propaganda news alert from this supposed right-angle news network, supposed network, that I led into a church this morning in Minneapolis. That is complete BS. First of all, I had no idea who the organization was until I arrived this morning. And number two, that's what every journalist should be doing, exactly what I did. What I did was report, chronicle, and commit an act of journalism, which is what every journalist should be doing. That's what happened. So if you really want to know the truth about what happened, why don't you check it out at the Don Lemon Show.
This is a violation of what is known as the FACE Act. And not only do we condemn this act, but tonight I want to demand that the Department of Justice investigate what took place in Minneapolis, apprehend those who broke the law, and arrest them accordingly. We must protect religious liberty in this country. As people meet to worship God, they have been given legally the right to enter, to worship, and to leave their place of worship.
Is it? They have the right to do that. Don Lemon is insane. Like, seriously. If I look at what he's struggling to justify, I really wonder if this is true. Megyn Kelly actually quoted that right. If Don Lemon was outside, not entering that church, struggling to do this kind of thing, like he's creating content, could have been different. He was inside, encouraging, struggling to do, like he's interviewing people. He knew that this was happening. Going there, it was on purpose. So struggling to back this up by telling lies is something. I don't get it. Oh, MAGA this, MAGA that. I understood that that was a strategy he would play all through. And nobody is buying that any longer. I don't know. I want you to know your thought on what these liberals are doing. Is it okay? Because it gets so crazy to me when I see this happening every single time. I don't want to make the video long. I think I'm going to end here. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. You can always skip.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life nice.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say I am so sorry for what is happening in Minneapolis and our country, really, but specifically Minneapolis right now because it's where I shot my last stand-up special.
I look at that video. I don't see both sides in a dogmatic.
Right?
The Golden Globe for Best Editing goes to the Justice Department.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
Yes. Of course, this is for the mother.
Babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me.
Them. Thank you, everyone. I'm a little in shock about that.
Maduro.
Let your hatred and sit this one out.
Well, these guys are paid, dude. And we
100.
There you go.
$1,500.
Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want to see
it is
them
coming.
get it.
MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Robin.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate
So you and your husband were friends with Rob and Michelle Reiner, and
everybody knew that wasn't true. A dangerous relative as a likely suspect. A tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on his own. In one interview, she said,
We should have said nothing. The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Yes.
Absolute horror.
Hi, Mel Gibson. I'm in Italy.
There is a quota system. Lasting conversation too.
Yes.
It's like telling the pendulum swing.
Up to the people who were involved, which included the pastor, members of the church, and members of the